Quick! Who is the father of the modern age of electricity? Thomas Edison, right? Let's try another one. Who invented the radio? Guillermo Marconi. This is easy, isn't it? Okay, here's a hard one. Who invented the radar? I'll let you Google this one. Heinrich Hertz. Congratulations! You've managed to get all these questions wrong. The real answer is Nikola Tesla. Don't feel bad. Most people would have answered the same. The truth is, Tesla is responsible for most of today's technology, from the electricities in our home, our computer, our phones, and even One Direction's rise to fame. Okay, I was kidding about the whole One Direction thing. I was just pulling your leg. But let's learn more about the man, the myth, the legend, and my all-time favorite geek, Nikola Tesla. Tesla was truly a modern-day Prometheus. He harnessed the powers of nature for man's purpose. One of his most important achievements was capturing the power of Niagara Falls with his alternating current system, which made it possible to distribute electricity throughout the nation. His patents for wireless communication technology was used in radio and television. His legacy can be seen in today's inventions, such as your remote control, neon lights, and transistors in your computers and smartphones. But his name was lost in history. Why? Most were envious and fearful of his genius. Edison, Marconi, Westinghouse, and J.P. Morgan were among the list of men who capitalized on his ideas and did not give him any credit. Although considered to be the genius that fueled the U.S.'s growth in an industry, he wasn't driven by money. He was driven on a quest to create free, inexhaustible energy. Nikola Tesla was born July 10, 1856 in Semijon, Croatia during a lightning storm. His father was an Orthodox priest, and his mother was an inventor who created many gadgets and gizmos used for weaving in her village. At a very young age, he was fascinated with Niagara Falls and promised that one day he would go there to harness its power. So he had his heart set on becoming an engineer. He attended school at the renowned Austrian Polytechnic School at Graz to study mechanical and electrical engineering. After he graduated from the school, he worked at a central telegraph office in Budapest, and at the age of 24, the grand idea of an alternating current motor came to him. He pictured an electrical wheel turned by magnetic forces, or the electrical induction motor. This is the base of electric power we use today. This little invention of his caused a great technological leap that would change a planet from a world of lanterns to a world of electric lights. At first, nobody in Europe understood the many applications of his motor. Finding a company to produce it was futile, so he decided to come to America to get his motor produced. With 4 cents in his pocket and a recommendation letter from Charles Batchelor, an associate of Thomas Edison, he set out to bring electricity to the world. He knew Edison would be the only one who would understand the importance of his invention. Edison thought it was a great idea, but being the businessman first, before a scientist, he knew if Tesla could make his invention work, it would compete with his company. So he hires Tesla to work for him. Edison did not think Tesla could actually make his motor work, so he made a bet with Tesla. He would give Tesla $50,000, or $1 million in today's money, if he could produce a working product. Tesla won the bet, but Edison, still not impressed, welched out on the bet and told Tesla it was all a big joke. "You just don't understand American humor," Edison said. So Tesla quit and formed his own company, the Tesla Electric Light Company. This little scuffle started a little thing known as the War of the Currents. This was a very unfriendly competition between the two electric companies who were trying to capture an emerging market. Edison was constantly trying to slander Tesla's name. Many people supported Edison, the so-called Wizard of Menlo Park, over Tesla the strange foreigner. It also helped that Edison had really deep pockets and money to burn. This did not stop Tesla in any way, though. He still created and patented many of his ideas. And by the way, it's Tesla's alternating current system that we use today, and without it, Edison's light bulb would not be much of a success. So Tesla, in the end, did get the final laugh. First, the alternating current motor. These are motors that use the alternating current system. The most important thing about these motors is that most of your appliances use this technology. These little motors made it possible to harness the power of electricity to use for everyday use and consumption. Secondly, the Tesla coil. The Tesla coil is a resonant transformer. These things are power sources that can send electricity wirelessly. That in itself is amazing. Imagine if you could charge your phone directly next to a station instead of plugging it into a socket. Truly a man ahead of his time. Radio. Who would have guessed this guy was a jack of all trades? You know what radio is. It's that thing you listen to in the car, and it's probably one of the greatest inventions of all time. It helps us get news, music, and many other things. Man, you think this guy would have been credited more. And lastly, what I think was his crowning achievements in all of his inventions was the Niagara Falls generator. He thought of harnessing the power of the mighty waterfalls to produce energy for the entire country. This was leagues ahead of his time, especially due to his age, for he was no younger than you or I. These things are even used today. Have you ever heard of the term hydroelectric dams? They are used to fuel cities from just the power of water. Throughout his life, Tesla invented many things because his interests were for the betterment of mankind through technology. Patents and profit didn't really interest him. Many people like Edison, Marconi, took credit scientifically as well as financially. Tesla did not. Sometimes his ideas were so futuristic he scared away backers. Tesla's idea of free electricity did not stand well with many people who profited from selling it. His ideas of wireless communication was all in all just a way to share electricity. Some say he succeeded, causing electrical currents to flow through the air, but at the same time he managed to create a massive power surge that caused a blackout in the entire New York area. In 1901, one of Tesla's ideas caught the eye of J.P. Morgan, one of the world's most powerful men at the time. Tesla proposed a global system of wireless communications. J.P. Morgan saw this as an industry he could pioneer in. Wireless communications could relay telephone messages across the ocean, broadcast news, music, stock market options, private messages, secure military communications, and even pictures to any part of the world. Tesla's pitch is when wireless is fully applied to the Earth, it will be converted into a huge brain, capable of response to any one of its parts. Morgan was definitely impressed and promised to finance his project. The massive undertaking began in 1901, called the Wardenclyffe Project. They erected an enormous tower rising 187 feet in the air. It supported a 55-ton sphere made of steel. Beneath the tower, a shaft plunged 120 feet into the ground. 16 iron pipes were driven 300 feet deeper so that currents can pass through them and anchor the enormous tower. As time went on, J.P. Morgan grew tired because Tesla was taking too long and costing him way too much money. Not to mention, Marconi was able to set up a less powerful wireless network from New York to Cornwall, England. J.P. Morgan withdrew his backing from the project. If Marconi could create the same thing in half the time and half the cost, why follow through with Tesla's plans? Another defeat with Tesla, which gave him a nervous breakdown. After that he became recluse, and did not trust anyone. He kept all of his inventions to himself. After a long time of many triumphs, and failures as well, on January 7th, 1943, at the age of 86, Tesla died alone and penniless in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel. Like many great men, Tesla's true genius was only realized after his death. Although not considered a great leader in the traditional sense, his ideas and inventions have led the world into a new age of technology. He has led many scientists and engineers and young curious minds such as myself in a quest of the betterment of mankind, rather than the rewards of profit and fame. His legacy is ever present in our daily lives, from electricity that powers our world to the technology that brings us all together, like our cell phones and computers. And maybe, just maybe, one day his dream of free energy will come true. That is why Nikola Tesla embodies the characteristics of this year's NHD theme, leadership and legacy.